All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are, our second series now of the night, the North American Qualifiers, coming at you for the Star Ladder I-League Invitational, season number 3. We have Digital Chaos taking on Team VGJ.Storm in this best of 3, of course. First round matchup, only one matchup in. Earlier today, the Dire defeating Immortals 2-0. We'll see how things follow up here. I'm Breaking CBK, joined by Z-Rock here as my caster, and we are into the draft. How's it going, man?
It's going. We had a nice little break, and we're back with a Doom.
Doom!
Yeah.
VGJ.Storm. Going the Doom. Doom's, I don't know about you, but Doom to me feels underwhelming whenever I usually see this here. Maybe that just happens to be something I'm picking out of the blue. Is there something to that? Do you think the hero maybe is overrated in some teams' minds, or is there value?
I don't necessarily think he's overrated. I think he's just struggled to find a spot. Like, we had a long time where 4-position Doom actually did exceptionally well. And then we saw, I know, Team Freedom and a couple Euro teams tried running carry Doom, and it had some mixed success. Offlane Doom has been a thing in pubs forever. It just seemed like it struggled to find its identity. And I don't really know what the answer is going to be to that in the long term. But yeah, for now, it's definitely been a struggle to figure out where you even put it.
Well, one hero that's not been a struggle is Lich, and that's picked up here by VGJ.Storm themselves. So, you know, we were kind of previewing this at the end of our previous game here. And so now that we're back, once again, we got a good matchup here. And I know a lot of people would lean towards Digital Chaos, if anything, because that's the name brand. You know, you got some very recognizable players over there. But I think you and I were both agreeing that this series may be a lot closer, even could go the other way. And that VGJ.Storm, do not underestimate this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm still giving the edge to DC, but we're talking like 45-55, not 80-20 like some people might think it would be.
Yeah.
So if you look at VGJ.Storm, you've got the Flea Sneaking, Stan King trio. They've played together a lot. They know each other well. And then they added in Ritsu, who is just a monster. So definitely excited to see what they can get going here, and there's definitely some potential on this VGJ roster.
Now, these teams did play each other not too long ago. In fact, according to Wikipedia, a couple of days ago even, of course, in the King's Cup. DC did win that series 2-0. So, you know, that only means so much, to be fair, but that is something to keep in mind as well. Anyways, we talked about the Doom, we talked about the Lich. What about the other side? DC, Night Stalker into a Crystal Maiden. That is not a hero. We don't see support Crystal Maiden all too often nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, was the power pick for months and months upon months, and people just kind of started thinking she was a little too slow, didn't do enough in the laning phase. Yeah, just kind of filtered out of the meta. And I think it pairs well with a Night Stalker. That's a very, very aggressive hero. I'm curious to know where they're going to put it, though, because MSS is notorious for playing Night Stalker. Yeah. But it's also a very good 4. And as a 4, it can really punish a Doom. That first night, finding him in the jungle, Doom's 0 base armor doesn't help. It's definitely a potential pick there for them, so we'll see what they do with it.
You know, that's something with this new roster I know a lot of people are looking forward to. Of course, to reiterate here, Digital Chaos. Of course, you got Abed, Bulba, and Mason returning from the crew that attended TI7 there, but then you have MSS stepping in as their new offlaner, and Moon Meander stepping in as a new support for the team, and also the drafter. In fact, you see right there, he is, you know, has that title. So that there really is something. You and I, we've talked about this on our podcast show. Even, I mean, this is a player that we've known for so long. Of course, you know, you take it back to the Hot Days. His attitude as a person in general, as far as him being a streamer and, you know, where he kind of came from. He was always known as a very over-the-top guy, let's just say. now, you know, here we are, 4 years or whatever later. I understand he's older, more experienced, wiser, whatever. It still just feels weird to me seeing him in that 5 position, but he is a good player, so I'm sure he'll do just fine.
Yeah. I mean, my issue is the learning curve on this, because you've got Bulba kind of playing a different role, you have Moon playing a different role. There's probably a pretty big learning curve they've had to try to get over in their scrims, and I'm really curious to see how far they've come in that, because I think that this is a roster with a lot to prove. You have a lot of players that have been to TI before, that have played high tier Dota for a while. And I think the world's kind of wondering when they're going to put something together that goes really deep.
We'll see. Obviously, a lot of expectations this year for many of teams, and There's a lot of chances to prove yourselves, this being one of many, of course. So, yeah, we found out that circuit being announced. You know, we thought it was going to be an 11-11 split initially. I think there's now 16 minors, if I'm not mistaken, that we have coming up on top of the 11 majors. And that's just the minors and majors. I mean, there are other events even on top of that. So,
yeah, WCA, WESG, even that other tournament we were talking about on the podcast, the ROG tourney.
Yeah.
There's definitely some big dollar third-party tournaments as well. This is looking to be the best year we've ever had for Dota, and scene defining going forward.
Easily. All right, we got an Ursa pick coming out after the Earthshaker here. So DC going to be running Ursa. Anything stand out for you as to why Ursa may be a good option here?
They like to run at things, and Night Stalker is also very good at running at things. I mean, this is a very high-tempo lineup right now. They're going to need to keep the pressure up, and if they fall back on their laurels a little bit, could be very hard. DC really needs to make sure they win lanes here going forward.
Yeah.
If they want to shore up the weaknesses a little bit, Magnus is still in the pool, something they definitely play, and kind of gives them some team fight presence that can answer some of this VGJ roster. But I have a feeling we're just going to see a very all-in draft. Abed Meepo's still on the board.
It's always fun to bring up that, isn't it? The Abed
I mean,
Meepo.
this is a good time to bring it out. You know, you're looking to qualify for the first minor that's running the qualifiers this year for NA. And
yeah, but you also have to look.
Yeah,
the lineup they're going up against. Yeah, it's I mean, Earthshaker alone is already making that a difficult decision, but Death Prophet just kind of, I think, shuts the door on that, if anything.
Honestly, Doom is the most annoying one there to play Meepo into, because then you have one Meepo you just can't control.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh no, what do I do with this guy?
Poof out. I got to poof to him. No, that doesn't work too. Yeah, it's it would be a difficult game. As great as Abed is a player, and I'm with you. I would love to see any time we can get the Abed Meepo. I'm all for, but.
I think we might see like a Necro coming out. That'd be a nice little tempo matching tool. Ursa gets Blink Dagger, blinks on someone, and they're in Reaper range almost instantly.
Yeah.
So it could be. Oh, Necro's banned.
I was gonna say. I mean, that would have been a nice option, but
yeah,
taken away.
Puck is still in the pool. That would do all right for them on the side of DC here. It lanes okay with DP, but it just synergizes really well with their lineup. Dream Coil is so nice to be able to hold people in place while Night Stalker Ursa runs at you.
Trying to think of a hero that has good synergy, especially with the aura of Crystal Maiden. Again, a hero we don't see often nowadays, but
yeah,
something you want to take advantage of. Feels like.
I mean, Lena's always good here too. Like long distance clear, beats DP pretty well.
Or Queen of Pain, another one that comes to mind.
I don't like Queen into this lineup. It's so hard to play Queen when there's an Earthshaker in the game, because a Fisher's just going to come from off screen, and the next thing you know, you're doomed. Or silence from Death Prophet.
Doom himself.
It's hard.
Yeah. Maybe not the Quap. Well, there.
But at the moment, I'm curious, because VGJ has left this wide open. This might be a carry Doom.
Is that a thing?
Promo code BSJ. He was the one that started it, and actually played it in a lot of competitive games.
All right. Well, we got Clockwork, and he's one that definitely benefits from Crystal Maiden Zara. So.
Yeah, and they nerf Clockwork just enough. I'm wondering if they feel like you can run him as a 4 still, or if they're just going to do 4 Night Stalker offlane Clock.
10 seconds.
Like Clock's roaming potential has just been tweaked and kind of just fell off entirely once he quit being able to solo kill the CMs and the Liches of the world.
Well, you mentioned, as they banned Quap, by the way, on VGJ.Storm side even, Night Stalker MSS kind of goes hand in hand, so maybe if anything that's setting up for that, where he plays the offlane Night Stalker. The 4-position Clockwork right here, so that's a potential.
It is. My worry there is if Clock doesn't get a lot of levels, that just doesn't feel good anymore. There's a reason it quit getting picked. Doesn't do damage.
The cogs are always still so useful, man. The cogs are still a great ability, and obviously he has excellent initiation. Especially, he has great initiation. Now, there is the awkwardness that he has an Ursa teammate where, granted, he'll get a blink, as you pointed out, and I'm sure he'll be able to not be affected by the cogs ideally, but there is a little bit of awkwardness right there where you kind of go in, you put the cogs up, and then Ursa has to be like, oh, I got to get to these cogs now to get to the target. So it can be a little annoying.
And he could rush a Force Staff to mitigate that too. Then he just like hooks Doom and Cogs' Doom and forces himself out of the Cogs and just leaves Doom stranded on an island for a few seconds. But I'm almost wondering if they won't just offlane the Night Stalker for like the first 4 levels, and then give it up to Clockwork and let him get a 6 off that. And remember how I said Earthshaker's not very good in a Brood in the last series? Yeah. Might get to see it in action here.
That's a Brood Mother with an Earthshaker. I mean,
I love it here. I think it's very good, except for the fact that if Lich goes 1/1/1 and just follows Brood around and Frost Armors whatever tower Brood's trying to push, life gets a little miserable.
Yeah.
Like, one of the huge things is, as a Brood, your goal is to make it so it takes 3 heroes in the lane to stop you, and then you just push down buildings or you go farm jungle. And if you can't push down buildings, that gets a lot worse.
I think that Phantom Lancer is great, too, because their cores alone are both very single-target heavy cores. So why not get a Phantom Lancer that just spawns all these illusions and cause issues there, so.
It's a hell of an Ags game, too, on PL.
Oh, that's true, yeah. That is very true. A lot of chances for illusions to be created. That's like, you know, I'm not usually a fan of getting the Ags ASAP on this hero, but I would not be surprised to see maybe the Diffusal into an Ags this game.
Yeah, I like the stat line on Ags this game too, though. Getting that extra bit of HP makes it so you don't just get insta-gibbed by like hookshot into Abed trying to blow your face off. And having that little bit of extra HP that he wouldn't have with normal itemization, like say, you know, Yasha, most of a Manta, might be the difference maker in him getting a doppel out.
So it's not going to be the carry Doom. It's going to be Snake King on Doom here. Playing more of the roaming. Well, what does Snake King play, actually? He plays... Does he play the offlane? Or does Flea play the offlane?
I think Snake does.
Does Snake? Okay. So it's going to be a 4 Earthshaker then, most likely.
Yep. And I think it's going to be very flexible. I think it's going to be one of those things. Sneaking gets creeps when he can, and if the wave's at the tower and he's jungling, Fleet comes over and takes it.
Yeah. We get a Brood Mother, though. That's he's one of those unique heroes that kind of Meepo-like in a sense, where we don't get the chance to see him often. When we do, he's not as high octane, entertaining necessarily, but it's unique. It's unique here. So, and is that Mason going to be playing it? Yeah, Mason's going to be playing it. Abed's on the Ursa in this game. Moon Meander on Crystal Maiden.
Well, we had a strong showing from PPD and his boys in the first series of the day.
Yeah, we
got a prediction for this series?
I've tuned in here and there to the King's Cup and, you know, got some matches with VGJ.Storm. I didn't get to watch too much of DC, but of course their records suggest they obviously did overall very well. They won the 2-0 against them. I am leaning towards DC with all of that said, but I still stand by. I would not be surprised to see this be a 3-game series. So 2-1 DC.
Okay, that's fair. This game, I like VGJ's draft a little better. I'm going to go 2-1 VGJ. I think they can squeeze one more game out with 2 to go. But they really got to make sure they don't just get wrecked in every lane right now. That's the risk they run. If they get to 6 and they're not thousands of gold in the tower behind, I think their lineup is just so much better equipped to handle all of this. But there's a strong chance this Brood just runs over the game.
Brood is always a scary, scary hero to play up against. All right, so while we're in this pause here, actually, to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at with this event, we mentioned we already had the Dire versus Immortals earlier. Of course, the Dire winning that series 2-0. First one's moving on here. Again, it is a double elimination tournament. 8 teams in it here from really all the regions, this being NA specific, of course. Tomorrow we do have off, actually, for this tournament, and then the rest of the week, it goes all the way through Sunday, where ideally a champion will be crowned, and again, they move on to then the actual LAN event portion of what is a Star Ladder Minor. Now, on the Wednesday, we got great matches. Complexity versus Leviathan will be our first one, and then Evil Geniuses makes their season debut here, taking on Blue Pikachu, a team that made it.
It's actually my friend's team.
Is it really?
Yeah. They snuck through the open qualifiers, saw the Twitter posts, and it's a bunch of mid-6Ks that have played together for a while, and are just kind of trying to make a run. They're having fun with it. They're seeing how far they can go. Well,
they have quite the debut matchup there. I'll say that, and that's got to be pretty cool feeling for a team like that. So, but Evil Geniuses, obviously a lot of expectations out of them as always.
So 2-0 Blue Pikachu, is that what you're saying?
Of course, yes. The upset is real. Upset, no, probably not. Wednesday are those matches once again. again, all throughout this week is going to be a busy week here for the NA region, as well, all regions. All right, the match has started here.
30 seconds to
So
battle.
Mason, where is Broodmother ending up here? Is he in the off lane?
Probably mid.
So you
Would
got
be my
him.
guess. Oh, it is.
What is
looking
Ursa
like
doing?
off.
Yeah,
Huh.
because Ursa's lining up as if he's going to go mid himself. I wouldn't expect him to go off lane unless. I mean,
Where's
I guess.
yeah, first web is brood mid. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's mid brood. So they're gonna offlane this Ursa, which is kind of weird.
The battle
They have to get a
begins.
real quick kill if they're not gonna rotate a bunch of people down here.
Well, now they're rotating, but they're obviously either they got some information or little unsure of exactly what they want to do. But now he's rotating towards the top. Clockwork is coming bottom, and so it's going to be more as the expected here.
Yeah, it's almost like they expected an aggro try and wanted Ursa in a 1v1, but without any deep words to really spell that out, it was not gonna work. And yeah, now we see MSS still kind of wandering around middle, not really sure what's going on. Once Ritsu showed on the deep board they have there.
That's worth pointing out. MSS is playing the Clockwork, so Night Stalker in the 4 position instead. Bulba, he's the one playing it. Stanking up here on the solo offlane Lich, by the way, and he's gonna die because of that. That's a first blood for Bulba. That's not a hero you want solo, especially against 3 like that.
It's not a hero you want first blood to go on either. That's now Boots and an Orb of Venom picked up on this Night Stalker, and even if that's all he gets before first night, that's terrifying.
So now he has Doom joining him up here. Doom, of course, in the jungle initially, getting that Troll Warlord.
Not the creep he was looking for. By far the best creep's getting a Satyr. The 3 HP regen is just nuts.
Oh, okay. Not for the Hadouken.
It's something. 4 HP? I don't know, it's a lot. But yeah, no, the Hadouken does a lot of damage. You just never have the mana to use it. It's expensive.
Yeah. No, that regen, though, would be nice. But he has now a crowd control. Comes into play, if anything, more for escaping death at this point, you figure, than going for a kill. But we'll see how that continues to happen. So Death Prophet versus Broodmother, though, in the middle lane. And this is a true 1 versus 1. I mean, right now, DP is 10-0. You got Broodmother 8-2. You expect Death Prophet to actually stand her ground here?
I mean, no, not in the long term. It's just going to get worse for her. It's just going to be more and more spiders, and as long as Mason micros them well, there's very strong kill potential at all stages of this lane.
Yeah.
This is super random and nothing relevant to the game, by the way, but every hard camp was Troll Warlords.
You're just going around, checking out all the camps, see what Doom could have had, yeah?
Every hard camp spawned with Trolls.
Well, that's...
Yeah, look at mid right now. I mean, it's just this. It's this much pressure at all times.
Yeah.
Invis, though, on Flea... Maybe?
Okay, they're going in. Spirit Siphon's up. There's the Fissure. Flea, the Enchant Totem, obviously doesn't have the Aftershock, but it doesn't matter. The Cryptstorm comes out to finish the job, and obviously your rotation helps right there, but that's a big kill, it feels like, especially if you're
That's a huge kill.
planning to go behind, yeah.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden DP's a little bit ahead on level curve, which means there's a better chance that she hits 5 in time to clear spiders. And if one Cryptstorm's clearing out spiderlings, it gets way easier. I guess it's going to take 2 either way. But Mason right back into it here. Just chucking 10 spiders at her face.
Yeah.
Every time Eric comes up. Yeah, for those watching, he's tagged wrong, but this is 747 in the mid lane. A.k.a. Eric Dong.
Ryoya.
His name.
Ryoya.
Don't flame the guy's name.
The way you said it was a little... You were very emphasizing there. It was just... I'm 12, by the way. So yeah, 747 playing the Death Prophet here. But he's got the Cryptstorm level 2, and he's almost at level 5, as you pointed out.
Top lane, sneaking might fall here.
He's being run down. Shockwave comes out. Obviously has a Scorched Earth down. That's going to be enough for
Good TP.
getting away, yeah. Scary with the Earthshaker there. Not worth committing. So they'll fall back from it. But yeah, again, this middle matchup, 23-2 Broodmother now, 20-0 Death Prophet. So Mason still having the advantage, of course, of the last hits, but of course that kill coming into play.
And honestly, MSS getting a lot out of this lane. They've had to rotate all the supports top. So while PL is having a fairly okay time down here farming away, This Clockwork's level 4.5. He's gonna have a very quick 6, and that hook shot's gonna be very useful in killing somebody like DP.
Also goes back to the Crystal Maiden synergy once again. Only level 1 Arcane Aura right now, but I'm sure that's going to be leveled up here. And something that a hero like Clockwork can take advantage of. He currently has a level 2 Rocket Flare. Both using that to last hit, but also harass other lanes perhaps. Assist with kills if need be. So, Flea here in that middle. He is camping nearby. Just leeching some experience currently. I don't know. I mean, maybe if he gets the angle right here with another Spirit Siphon. We saw what happened earlier.
Yeah, it's a lot harder when he's not in range. Just whack him with Enchant Totem too, but it's going to be some pressure if he wants to use the dust.
Top lane, Lich, he's dead again. At least it's Lich and not Doom, I guess. That's the good news, but yeah, that Frostbite, a little too strong, and it is nighttime, of course, so only level 2 Night Stalker, but enough to get the kill.
Yeah, and this is where I want to see more out of Mason, though. He's got level 5 up. This is the point you need to start expanding your web nets, going to the ancient creeps, and really abusing using Brood middle, where you start taking multiple ancient camps at a time. Every minute your farm should just explode. It's almost like an alchemy that way.
Well, Doom feeling the pressure up here at the top lane. He goes down again, and you see Lich just keeping his distance. So this Doom Lich offlane doesn't seem like it's working out nearly as planned. By the way, MSS is going to be roamed on in his own in the Radiant jungle here, really. I mean, you see Flea trying to set up a fissure stun. Cox come out. Is he going to go for the fissure here? The block. Oh, he's just like, it's not worth it. And 747 will back off in the end. I mean, they're still pinging out as if they want to make a play, perhaps, but no, 6-minute rune, that's why. 6-minute rune's top instead. It's an invis. Can't get that, but meanwhile, Brood is just farming the lane. He's going to push into the Radiant Ancients even and farm that up, and he's going to destroy the invis.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say he needed to be doing. He got notice it wasn't bottom, so you might as well just send one little spider out that way. But yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to see out of him. Now he's getting that bonus gold out of the Ancients, so even if his CS isn't that great, a lot of that's very high value CS in Ancient Creeps.
What does Broodmother go for here, you think, as far as priority? It looks like he's going Medallion, of course, but is this like an Orchid game or Radiance even? Or?
Yeah, I like Orchid here a lot. I think it's super value in getting away to kill the PL.
Oh, 747, no chance. I mean, there was absolutely no chance there at the freezing. Again, nighttime here from Night Stalker.
You really don't want Bulba getting all these kills, though. Like, the first one was great. It got him to start, but your 4-roll Night Stalker, not the best person to get kills stacking on. Are they looking to die? Very deep ward put out by the Night Stalker. This is going to show all the rotations in the lane.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's way back there. In fact, they're coming in right now. They're going to perhaps catch Doom. Frostbite, he still has it. He's going to use it now. Here comes Earthshaker, though. Flea lands a fissure. Kind of separates them a little bit. It gets a turn kill on the Doom. In fact, Moomiander, he might be turned now. That Scorcher still down, burning him, baby. Moomiander, though, just out of range. Will be fine, Abed. Slowing down the Earthshaker with a Shockwave. Fissure up in 3. Doesn't have the mana for it, though. And so
Snee was so much respect there for Abed. As soon as he saw Abed show back up, he backed off. One more tick of Scorched Earth, and Moon dies on the Crystal Maiden.
Clockwork, though, he's coming in to clean up. So Snake King should have perhaps got back a little bit further. Did not expect the rotation.
Something's just so pleasant to watch somebody bounce off of cogs and die from that damage. They just like get thrown back 200 units and just fall over.
It's like dying to a wave of terror from Vengeful Spirit. You know, it's that ability you're kind of just using to harass or whatever, and then it ends up killing somebody. I'll take it.
The animation's just so good.
Flopping backwards.
PL went for a ton of early game items. He's got a full Aquila done, treads, also has an Iron Talon queued up. I have to imagine he's just looking to hide for a while. Probably doesn't want to do much in this game. Just farm the jungle, get to an item, maybe even 2. Their late game is so much better.
On the Radiant side, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like, even if Brood just explodes and is 5k net worth ahead of everyone else, if we're talking 30-40 minutes, it just doesn't matter.
That, I think, if anything, it goes to the point that, I mean, Phantom Lancer himself is a very strong late game carry, but especially when you're so single target focus in your lineup on the other side. And, I mean, you can look across the board, that's, their AoE clear is not the greatest. So, those illusions.
This is pretty sweet up top lane. They've got Ice Armor on Lich, and then there's Stolen Ice Armor on Doom from eating the
Oh,
ogre.
wow.
So they're actually pressuring this tower, just giving a creep a ton of armor.
All right, well, he's going to use that exorcism as well. I believe it's the first time he's activated it right here.
Radiant's middle tower
Good to make
is
use of
under
it, though.
attack.
Get that
Radiant's
objective
middle
done. Middle
tower
tower,
has
meanwhile,
fallen.
goes down, and Mason, he's feeling
Dire's
pretty good.
top
Another
tower
2,000
is
gold
under
saved
attack.
up. He's going to farm up the Radiant Ancients over here now. So it's not a very action-packed
top
game,
tower
but
has
with
fallen.
with what we have here, it's probably expected as far as how this game's playing out.
But I mean, look at the net worth compared to CS. Like, DP was up in CS, up a kill, and Mason's still ahead because of these Ancients. It's just so much gold he's gaining out of this. He's sitting at 2,200 gold on top of that medallion already.
Yeah. So we'll find
He
out.
could go super early Radiance if he wants it. Like, it might be a situation where he holds all of his gold until he gets pressured, and then makes the call and either buys a relic or most of an orchid.
Well, it's funny because I brought that up actually too because Team Secret ran it earlier today in
Deso.
I think it was for Star Ladder. Is he going Deso? Yeah, he is. How about that? All right. So neither one of those two. He's going Deso instead. Really wants that single target presence here as far as damage goes.
It's also a ton of tower push.
Tower push, yeah.
We'll see how committed he is to splitting versus team fighting. If his next item is BKB, he wants to fight. If it's AC, he's just looking to split.
Oh, Doom's activated. Obviously, they killed Crystal Maiden. I didn't think they were going to pursue this far, but they want it. They might get it, actually. Ursa, nothing more he can do. No enrage, of course, because he's silenced up, so he goes down. And they're also going to get the Clockwork Catch now as the Echo Slam comes out in return. MSS is getting low himself, the Killer Shaker, but at what cost? MSS is going to fall right there. Boba, the Flame Ram and auto attack. You see Phantom Lancer sending in his Spirit Lances as well. The Illusion's in pursuit. Boba juking and jiving through the trees, though, but Snaking trying to cut him off. He pops the salve. We'll get a little bit of life back. Puts the Void out. It's nighttime, of course, but Boba going to be run down eventually by the Phantom Lancer right here. It seems like, oh, maybe not, actually. He's kind of getting blocked, if anything, and he pops the Shrine. And now it's Ritsu's the one that could be in some trouble. Frostbite? Yep, they're going to get it off right here. He's silenced up. He uses the Crystal Nova. Not enough mana for the Frostbite now, though. Pops the magic stick. There we go. Gets enough mana for it. Earthshaker coming in with the fissure. Out goes the Doppelganger as well to avoid the rocket, but he runs right into the death trap that is Broodmother. He goes down immediately. Insatiable Hunger now pop. Doom's in trouble. There's a Shrine. This fight, we're still going, baby. Out comes the Exorcism in the backlines from 747, and Broodmother will be picked off when it's all said and done. A double kill for the Death Prophet. And you know what? Nightstalker's still alive. Not for long, though. Chain Frost will finally finish him.
Oh man, we need some jebaited emotes here, because damn, Ritsu got way too deep and baited Mason into going with him, and that just ended up being very, very interesting. We got a lot of kills there, most of them going on the side of VGJ, and it lines up perfectly with this next exorcism.
Oh, you're right, because what are they? Oh, he actually just bottled up the arcane.
Yeah,
That's
no, they used the exorcism there to kill the brood, and then swung it into mid and got a decent amount of chip damage on it.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can maybe hold on to that arcane rune for another exorcism in 90 seconds, but...
Oh, you definitely will.
Okay. Yeah, it's a really good value there.
Where is DP going? Okay, DP has a medallion herself. Almost has a whole halberd done. We'll actually go collect it right now, yep. So full halberd coming out of DP.
Wait, you said a medallion. Solar Crest, you mean? Okay.
Solar Crest. I said halberd.
I was like, I mean,
yeah, no.
That could be okay as well against Bruma, I guess.
Words.
Oh,
yeah, it's going to make her super tanky, though, against the squad. Like, you have no single target that isn't... your Ursa can't kill her now, the Brood can't kill her.
Look at DC,
they're going
though.
in.
Yeah, they really are going in. Insatiable Hunger once again popped by Mesa, but MSS the one's doing work, and gets another kill right there. Quipstorm will finish him off, though. Spirit Siphon is ready. You mentioned how tanky he is. Moomy in her. He's like, I got a TP. It's a really good item against Death Prophet. I'll go ahead and use it. So he gets out. Phantom Lancer, meanwhile, during all of that, he's going to be split pushing in the top lane. Eventually falls back, though, realizing that the pressure has been laid off now.
He does have a Diffusal queued up. I like it here a lot. What?
No, I was saying, yeah, I mean, Diffusal's good value on this hero.
Used to be better when you could purge Insatiable Hunger. Actually wasn't changed that long ago, maybe a year, but still solid. It's going to let him run down anytime he sees CM. He's just dead. But.
Oh, they caught Mason. I'm not even sure how I got to that late, unfortunately, but that must have just been Earthshaker catching up with a fissure, and yeah, Doom wasn't even used. That was just simply enough follow-up damage. Get that kill, and here comes Exorcism. Doesn't have the Arcane Rune activated, but still, look at me. There's like, I'm going to try to keep them off using the freezing field. Didn't really do too well, though.
Dire's middle tower
Cleared
has
out creep wave, but backdoor protection not existing on T1's kind of made that a futile attempt.
Phantom Lancer farming up the Radiant or the Dire jungle even meanwhile. Getting that defusal just about finished. Now we mentioned the value of the Ags this game as well, so we'll see if that's going to be queued up next. But Ursa's still trying to finish a blink, and their tier 2 middle's getting pushed in as well as their tier 2 top. So the objective gaming right now, advantage for VGJ.Storm, no doubt.
Yeah, fast-paced games have been what are winning games for teams today. It's all been who can get on the towers first and apply pressure. And as you said, DC's still waiting on core items. The Blink Dagger's just going to come up on Ursa. The Clock's just now going to finish his Blade Mail in about 200 gold. And Brood's still not even to her first real item. They're so far behind on timings right now. They're just not strong enough to fight.
MSS is scouting out all this, but they see him now. They put the sentry down. The dust comes out as well. He was scouting them out. It's almost like they were going to be setting up to try to make a play on them, if anything. And then all of a sudden, they got information of sorts. They found him, and now Moonmeander is also going to be run down for the double kill of the team of VGJ.Storm. So a nice couple of finds there. Again, tier 2's top going down middle. It might be pressured if they want to keep this push in the middle.
And honestly, they still have Doom up, Exorcism's back in 45 seconds. They're still in a very good spot to keep fighting if they're VGJ. Chainfrost is up as well, Echo. I mean, they have everything they need.
Night Stalker. More so Broodmother's roaming into the Radiant jungle right here. Remember, again, he went that Desolator. I think what you said.
It's actually daytime now, so
just
nice big opening for VGJ. Yeah, Roche might be a potential thing. You see the Dire pinging it out, wondering if they're doing it, but they really could whenever they'd like, especially with the Solar Custom DP.
He does have Darkness, but it's only lasting so long here. Got another Arcane rune.
Another Arcane.
And that's going to be used with the Exorcism, no doubt, this time around. So that's coming off cooldown right here. So yeah, if you're VGJ.Storm, you're thinking, what objective do we go to do here? Either the middle tier 2, maybe bottom tier 1, but then Roshan, of course, another one even on top of that. So we'll see what they decide to go for. And there's the Yule's finish on top of that. I was going to say that earlier. I mean, he chose to get the Solar Crest, but Yule's on this hero is just so good. The synergy of the item. The idea that you can use Exorcism and still damages while thrown up in the air. And, of course, the mana regen, the speed, everything about it is just good at this hero. So how's that? It's going to be a tough fight for DC, it feels like. They're going to send the spiders in at least, but those are going to be killed off now, so Mason will be without.
Their team fight's just so weak. Like, your CM went 4 points in aura, which is normally nice if laning phase extends, but in this kind of situation, it makes her do very little damage. As you've said many times, they're so single target focused. They kind of just have to get in here and blow up Death Prophet.
There we go. MSS goes in a little bit early as far as the Roshan kill. Chainfrost comes out with that Blade Mail. It's not going to matter, though. Gets the kill. We see another jump in, actually, from Ursa on top of that. Echo Slam in the backline's locking out Broodmother by himself. They take out Ursa, and they take out Broodmother. He's dead for 50 seconds. Bulba's going to get picked off. And you said it from the beginning, Z-Rock. It just didn't feel like it was going to be a fight that they could take. They tried. It failed. And that's a Roshan kill on top of 4 hero kills, and the Aegis picked up by Ritsu.
Looking bleak for the side of DC here. There's so little they can do to get back in this game. It's going to take multiple smoke ganks and picking off core heroes each time. As soon as this PL gets to a Manta, which is what it looks like he's going next, he's literally unkillable.
Moonmeander using the freezing field to just farm the jungle over there. And then Ritsu's like, wait a second. I don't want you doing that for free. Get him killed and runs him down. So, yeah, this the cores of the Radiant side, especially between Death Prophet and the Phantom Lancer, proven to be very effective this game. And Peel's not going to be going the Ags. He's just going to be going again more traditional, you could even say. The Yasha into the Manta style here.
Yeah, he wants a silence break for Night Stalker. That's the whole idea right now. That's about the only way they can kill him with how far ahead this VGJ side is. If he can break the silence, he's just literally immune.
Ursa, simply a blink and a Morbid Mask. It feels underwhelming. He's going a Diffusal Blade, is Abed right here. But is Diffusal the choice, you think? I mean, we've mentioned time and time again how the stat-wise it is a very good item.
He's got to purge ice armor.
That too.
They just don't do any damage without it.
Yeah, that with a Desolator attacks from Broodmother, you'd figure can be great, but again, it's getting on the Death Prophet, being able to sit on him, especially with the yields, can be tough. And then we talked about Phantom Lancer. It's good luck finding the real one, let alone doing the damage to him. So a tough task ahead for DC. VGJ.Storm keeping that momentum up. Going to push the Tier 1 bottom now, so continues the objectives. The Phantom Lancer, of course, with the Aegis still.
This is just looking so rough. There's no way that they can contest an actual DC push. Even with 5-on-5, they can't do it. Even with Ritsu not here, I think they lose this fight. So VGJ free to take whatever buildings they feel like taking right now. I'm curious if from here they'll go straight high ground or if they'll rotate over to mid and grab the last T2. They do have Exorcism still up, all of their ults. Perfectly good to go right now.
Yeah, even a haste room bottled up for Death Prophet. It feels pretty good on him as well, because when you look at, they got a lot of slows here on the Star side, but of course that's not going to do anything if he has that haste room on. So I'd be surprised if he feels really confident here as far as continuing to push. He also is working, right now he's working towards an Octarina. A little surprised he's going that over the Shivas, honestly.
They just want more ultimates. Like, that's the situation they're in. When you're this far ahead, every time you can get something with Exorcism, like they can right now, it's just a good feeling.
Yeah.
So you just grab the Octarina as fast as you can. It's just more Exorcisms, more chances to fight.
Haste rune going off right there. It is going to wear off now. Nightstalker, he kind of gets close, and that's close enough. They just jump on him. He goes down. Freezing field onto the side from Moomy, and it's eventually going to be stopped up. The Ursa jumps in, but the Cogs blocking him in as well. The Chain Frost bouncing around between him and the Clockwork. It kills Clockwork. It kills up in. The double kill coming out for 747. Buyback from Nightstalker. You see Broodmother is split pushing the top tier 3, so DC is getting something out of this. Oh, and a nice stop of the TP right there. But they call GG. Okay.
Double buyback and you were going to lose a Rax.
Okay, I mean,
that's reasonable.
The game was still kind of going, and then all of a sudden they called GG. All right. I mean, Brood did die right there at the end, so.
Yeah, Moon was doing some productive things, but it was too little too late. So a very, very nicely played game from VGJ. They played their draft as well as they could. Yeah, some bumpy starts in the early game with that Lich Doom off, but as soon as they hit their team fight, it just blew up for them.
Was Broodmother a mistake? I mean, does it come down to that maybe? Is that a hindsight thing to say, or?
They just picked a very tempo-based draft and lost their tempo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think you can say the draft was the issue necessarily. It just came down to the fact that they weren't choosing when they took fights. They got pressured, and that can't happen with a lineup like that.
I mean, their lanes did go pretty well. The middle lane obviously went decent, and of course the top lane went very well. It didn't seem like Abed on the Ursa was really able to take advantage of that start. I mean, he got a couple of kills early on in that lane. He was essentially getting free farm, but couldn't really.
It might have gone a little better if he went straight Blink instead of going the Morbid Mask. They never did have an opening to go take Roche or anything like that, which is where the Morbid Mask shines.
Yeah.
But if he had gone Blink right away, had it around second night with MSS or with Bulba, maybe they could have gotten something done there. But yeah, just really falling short. They missed a lot of night opportunities. They kind of just had nothing they could do.
Yeah.
During those 4 minutes.
Strong draft, strong play from VGJ.Storm. So they're up 1-0. As we talked about, do not underestimate this team. And they make a statement there in game number 1. So best of 3 here. We'll see if DC can respond. Or if VGJ.Storm going to do a clean sweep and move on to the next round. Again, the winner ultimately playing the Dire in the following round here of this double elimination NA qualifiers for the Star Ladder I-League season number 3. I'm Breaky CBK, joined by Z-Rock. Stay tuned, guys. We got game number 2 going to be coming up next.